Welcome to SJU and happy Tuesday. We are going to talk about that Deadpool today and also that Mandalorian. There's more Mandalorian bits. Joe, is that the accurate start? Is that lore correct?
Yeah, the Mandalore.
Mandalore bits. Yeah. Good. Joe Starr is here to keep us on track on all the Star Wars things. Spencer
He's below you now, Roth.
Oh,
I believe he's below you. Yeah.
Oh,
but I'm up here.
You gotta really watch out because people move around on this screen. And Jonathan, I encourage you to let your artistic freak flag fly on that. Spencer GIlbert is right next to me, as always, here to keep things straight and funny. More funny, less straight. Joe's the one with the facts.
That's
not
right.
Me. I'm Roth Cornet, and I'm the one with the hair today. I don't know what's going on, but it's a little bit 80s, and I really attribute that to my Valley Girl binge over the weekend, which
Roth just wants to have fun.
I do just want to have fun. That's true. Okay, so first of all,
Roth just wants to dance in that factory.
I just want to be in an internet factory.
You want to dance out your anger in that factory.
He's flash dancing you.
Oh, yeah, I do want to dance. I thank you, Joe. You're absolutely right. I am always angry, and the only way to get that out in a healthy manner is via dance. Yeah.
I was thinking more girls just want to have fun. You know, Kim Cattrall and God, who else is in that movie?
Girls Just Want to Have Fun. So it was Girls Just Want to Have Fun with Sarah Jessica Parker.
That's
I don't think Kim Cattrall.
Okay, never mind. One of the other sexes in the city.
That was a different Girls.
It was Sarah Jessica Parker and Helen Hunt.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. No, thank you for bringing it up, Spencer. I appreciate that. I appreciate that your wife has introduced you to all these 80s classics. I know you guys were wondering about the Valley Girl remake. The only thing I'll say about it today is that it's a musical featuring a redo of the song Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Now, Deadpool. Deadpool. Might not happen. Yeah, apparently people are feeling pretty blue about it. Yeah, the Deadpool Disney thing. Let's talk about it, man. This is via total film and inverse. I think there was a question mark about what would happen, what would befall Deadpool, the hard R success for Fox, under the new beautifully gloved Disney mouse hands. So unsure, will it get smashed? Will it get lovingly, fluffed?
Will it get smashed or lovingly fluffed?
Those are the options. Is that our new show?
Smash, you gonna fluff?
Smash or fluff?
What's it gonna be, Deadpool?
Deadpool, smash it or fluff it. Who's to say? There's various opinions on this. So will we see a Deadpool 3 is a question I think fans have been asking themselves since the acquisition of Fox by Disney. Ryan Reynolds feels optimistic, sort of. He said this about it, quote, "I don't feel like an insider at all. I think once I'm more intimate with it, if we get to make a Deadpool 3, or if we get to make a Deadpool 3, I'll probably have a better perspective on that. But I'm a huge fan of Marvel and how they make movies. So when Disney bought Fox, I only saw that as a good thing. Deadpool hopefully being allowed to play in that sandbox. I think it's just a win for everyone involved, but we'll certainly see." Now let's unpack that answer.
It's very diplomatic.
So it was incredibly political. Like, he was asked basically in another interview, he was asked, "Do you think that you're going to do Deadpool 3? What do you think is going to happen?" Fans are wondering. And he made sure to not smash, but fluff Marvel and talk about how excited he was to be a part of the partnership, and that reiterate that it's a win for everyone. But he says he's not feeling like an insider, which means they're not having conversations about it. And currently Marvel's superhero plate overfloweth. They've got a lot of movies coming up already that have been revealed. So what do you think about that answer from Ryan? On a scale of 1 to who's the Feige is probably the best at giving political answers right now.
I mean, it's close to it's not quite a Feige because Reynolds is also, a rebel who definitely didn't leak Fox footage in order to get his Deadpool movie made. He's he's a little more maverick than Feige. Like he's Feige if Feige was also riding a motorcycle with Kelly McGillis.
Yeah.
I mean, the weird thing though is
have you seen the Top Gun trailer? Okay, let's talk about that later.
The Maverick trailer?
The Maverick one.
Hell yeah. I'm unclear though. Like, isn't it sort of on Ryan Reynolds to be like, "I've got a great idea for Deadpool 3"? Like, I don't think he really needs to wait for a green light from Disney to be like, "Hey, I'd love to make this movie." It sounds like he's just sitting back, waiting for them to give him permission to start working on it. But
I
think because he is such the creative force behind that, shouldn't he come to them with like, I would love to make another Deadpool movie?
I mean, I don't know. It seems like, I mean, you're a Game of Thrones guy. It doesn't take a lot for a character that seemingly has a ton of power and a ton of momentum to suddenly be waiting outside the throne room and being asked to be admitted to see the new king. So I don't know. I don't know that after all the acquisitions and everything that maybe he's got as much stock, you know, in the old Disney court as maybe he did when it was just Fox.
Yeah, I mean, curiously, he said in his quote, like he phrased it as, let me see, click. I only saw that as a good thing. Deadpool hopefully being allowed to play in that sandbox, which is weird because I feel like, yeah, if he's waiting for Deadpool to join the Avengers, you know, that's phase 9. But if he just wants to do another Deadpool movie, which they've made do so far with him basically being on his own, they toss him a couple X-Men and that's fine. I feel like they could make that movie right now.
They could, but think about the complications of that, Spencer. I mean, a couple things. First of all, to Joe's point, when Deadpool
movie.
What happened?
Just make a Deadpool movie amidst the Avengers and just throw that.
Yeah, exactly. That face. And also Sarah agrees. She's currently so disturbed by this that she's going to go ahead and Blair Witch at the wall, as always, letting us know her feelings on the matter with absolute clarity. So this is what I would say to Joe's point. Two things.
My point was just sounds.
Well, it was a good sound because I think it was an astute sound in the sense that Deadpool for Fox was a hit. It was something they really needed because they were struggling with the X-Men franchise. It was underperforming. They didn't know what to do with it. And along came Deadpool, which was cost them less money to make and then made them a sizable amount of returns, probably because it cost them less money to make. But when you think about Marvel, they have literally billion-dollar movies, and they've got an incredibly intricate plan for all of these movies. And their least successful movie is roughly, and I'll look up the exact numbers. Actually, Ryan, can you look this up for me? The lowest performing Marvel movies would be the Ant-Man movies, and look at them set against Deadpool. So the point with that is like Disney Marvel does not need Deadpool in the way that Fox Marvel did. That's one thing. And then the second thing is like Disney has a very, very, very clear brand identity, as we know, and Deadpool doesn't quite fit into that very, very clear brand identity. And the third thing is that they're also going to be thinking through how they integrate the Fantastic Four and how they integrate the X-Men into Marvel. And Deadpool could easily throw a wrench into any of those plans. And so Feige, being the methodical thinker that he is not going to move too quickly on that. He's going to make sure that it will, in the long run, also make sense for them. So that's a lot waiting against Deadpool, and a lot that Ryan Reynolds, as talented as he is, and as much as I personally love Deadpool and would love to see it again, he can't control.
Well, for one thing, you just got me thinking about a world where the Fox universe of Marvel characters cinematic universe existed.
Fumk.
Fumk. Fumk would have been pretty amazing.
Bring the noise, bring the fumk.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think this came back to the forefront today because the brilliant Rob Liefeld shared his very important 2 cents, and you got to listen to a man who's never drawn a foot before. Oh shit, throwing shade at $1 million very successful creator. Oh, who won this round?
Joe, you're actually predicting what I was going to ask you to do, which was to please read and interpret Rob's quote for us.
Oh, let me hang on. Sorry. Full disclosure, before the show started, my internet kicked, so I closed everything.
I'll do it. Okay.
Sorry.
I could read his quote.
Read that quote.
And then I can translate.
All right. This is Rob Liefeld regarding the plans for a new Deadpool movie. I don't know. Here's what people don't want to hear, but thank God I'm a realist. I feel like Deadpool, the movies, they've set sail. We've got 2 brilliant movies. We live in a culture that always looks forward because all they're ever selling us is next, next, next. It's the fever. For me, as the fever calms down, this is a poor choice of words during a pandemic, people just need to calm down and realize that Deadpool 1 and 2 were released within 2 years of each other, 2016, 2018, and I just can't I'm not really that crazy about Marvel's plan right now.
Well,
he's talking about their slate. He's saying, I think what he's saying about that, not that he doesn't like their slate, but that it's full. They've got Black Widow and the Eternals. They've got Black Panther 2. They've got Doctor Strange.
Well, he definitely throws some solid shade at the Eternals, I believe.
He did, yeah.
He's like, you gonna do an Eternals movie when you have the X-Men? And it's like, yeah, but, and I think this is why Deadpool kicks down the road, because Deadpool is, it always gets weird when like some kind of side character like blows up really big, right? And kind of makes the canon a little weird, because Deadpool's a tertiary X-Men character. He always was. His comics got really popular and his movies got really big, but it throws a weird wrench into your creative plans when, if Deadpool is your flagship X-Men character, then that means Deadpool has to sort of lead the way on incorporating the X-Men into the MCU, which is very weird.
But I just don't think you're locked into that. I think that this is still, I get how meticulous Marvel is, and I get how controlling Kevin Feige is and how these plans are set decades in advance. But Deadpool, more so than anybody, is able to just basically make a hard R-rated comedy movie that happens to star a superhero and has nothing to do with anything else. Like, sure, he'll make jokes about it, but he'll like, maybe you can kick him a Quicksilver cameo or something like that. But like, it lends itself to being its own thing, because that's what it was at Fox. It wasn't related to the X-Men movies, really. And it's, you make almost $1 billion. Does that not matter anymore?
So it does matter. I mean, Spencer, so just to clarify, Deadpool 2 specifically made $785 million, and it had a $110 million budget versus, and that's again against the lowest performer for Marvel, which is the Ant-Man franchise. So Ant-Man and the Wasp made $622 million and they won't tell us their budget. but so it underperformed, but set that against, and it does stand on its own, and that's why it was successful. One of the reasons it was successful, and that's why I think we all love it. Nobody here doesn't want to see it happen, but it's incredibly complicated for them to be thinking all of this through. And imagine the added complications of having so many different productions pushed back due to the pandemic, and the added complications of Disney Plus, and how that is such a central part of the revenue stream now for Disney, as we talked about the other day, and how Deadpool does not fit into that model because they have promised that Disney Plus is going to remain family friendly.
Deadpool has swears.
He does.
He does. Yeah.
He likes stuff.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. If anything, you could just do Deadpool movies completely detached and completely on their own, but I just don't see Feige letting anything like be its own thing, or like being its own David S. Pumpkins off just living its life.
Which is stupid. I think that if you're going to buy Fox, and if you're going to buy something like Deadpool included, why not control both sides of the superhero spectrum? Why not have the family-friendly side and the R-rated Fox side? Like, why not make both of them? And just, I think people will understand that they're not connected, because, you ask Ryan Reynolds and the creative team for pitches that don't intersect with a million other Marvel characters. It's just Deadpool gets a taco or a chimichanga or whatever. There's your movie.
To all of the people that are going to inevitably write in the comments, I agree with Spencer. We agree with Spencer too.
I feel like you don't agree with me.
No,
I think before we went live, you were like, I never want to see Deadpool. It's not family friendly.
You are such a liar. Oh, don't you stick the internet on me. I did not say that. We creatively agree with you. I'm going to make Joe be on my team so that he takes. Now, I would always take the bigger hit. I want to see that. I legitimately really like Deadpool, especially the first one. But I like the sequel as well. I just think that we're presenting all of the reasons that would potentially, from Disney Marvel's perspective, hinder that. But especially right now, they have so much to think about and rework in terms of their production schedule in total. It's not to say that won't happen. One of the best things that I think that has come out of the Disney Fox merger, one of the things that I would believe you, Spencer, would be most worried about was how it would impact FX shows. And I have loved seeing the collaboration with FX and Hulu, which was, I think, something that we speculated about. Maybe just the FX shows would go to Hulu, and then the more family-friendly shows would go to Disney Plus, which is exactly what happened. So there's clearly room for the kind of like innovative, creative, interesting adult content. Oh, sorry. What do I owe us? A blood sacrifice for saying content? I don't know. I'll pay it later. But adult TV and movies that we would want to see, there's room for it. I think it just gets more complicated when it's also a superhero.
Agreed. I had a point, but I forgot it.
Because you were starting to think about devs and all of the good FX shows that are now.
Yeah, you really distracted me there.
You know, to sort of respond to, because with like the Eternal Shade with Rob Liefeld, he's like, you have the X-Men and you're not moving forward with the X-Men immediately. One of my favorite things to come out of this merger where people lost their job, blah, 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 whatever. One of my favorite creative moves they're making right now is to not mention the X-Men. Like, no X-Men news for as long as possible is good for me. That means they're taking their time. They're not jumping the gun just to like shove the IP in somewhere. And hopefully it means they're taking their time to do it right.
Yeah, ideally, yes. But I also do think he's throwing shade at the movie I'm most excited to see. So I resent that, Rob.
Eternal? Oh, no, I also want to see Kumail Abs, the movie.
Okay. First of all, that is part of it. But you know it's because of the director that they have, and I keep hoping anyone will watch her other films if they like the Eternals. But also it's just like weird, and I'm into it. That said, I do think that they're working through how they're integrating the X-Men, and I think it'll probably come up in surprising ways. But that's a lot to think about, particularly when the X-Men people have been struggling to crack that franchise now for the last 10 years, you know? And anyway, I suspect we would see the Fantastic Four first.
Probably.
For the X-Men and the MCU.
Definitely a lower bar has been set for them. They can just tiptoe over it because that bar is on the floor.
Yeah. Yes. But hopefully we'll get a little bit of all of it over time. We'll see how that ultimately plays out in the next couple of years. And I'm sure Ryan Reynolds does have pitches, and I'm sure maybe we'll get a leaked something, Spencer, that he didn't do.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. Do it again, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for being with us every day. It really does mean the world to us. Thank you for joining us live. That is an important part of our success equation. And in order to make that more fun for you, we're going to have Ryan start reading. I like when I'm giving an instruction live. He's never heard this before. Ryan's going to start reading through the chat and calling out interesting moments in the chat or questions that come up, or offering a perspective from the chat about the things that we're talking about so that we can respond to it. He's giving me the thumbs up. He's happy that I'm announcing this live on the YouTube, so there's no chance for him to argue about it. So Ryan will be doing that from now on. It's very exciting. We want to get you guys more involved and let us know that what we can do and what we can talk about would be fun and interesting to you. Are there segments that would be fun and interesting? Would it be interesting for you if we did an indie film segment?
What?
Oh man,
it would be interesting for me. Anyway, maybe we agree. So hit that like, hit that bell. It means a lot to us. We will be having SJU live tomorrow and Thursday this week. We're going to be doing SJU on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Tuesdays, and sometimes we'll surprise you with a different video. And every once in a while, we're going to be like, boom, weekend video. Boom, what do you think? Do you like it? Let us know. But we appreciate your continued support. It is what allows us to do what we love doing here. And we hope you enjoyed it as well. Today, we have something fun for you, hosted by the lovely, the wonderful, the intelligent Danielle Radford. She will be doing a video AMA, our Hey Fandom series, with She-Ra showrunner Noelle Stevenson right after this show at noon. Right after the show, you can tune into that and ask your questions of She-Ra showrunner Noelle Stevenson. I have to say, we were doing her run of show yesterday because I don't watch She-Ra. And so I'm sold. I'm sold just on the questions Danielle wrote that this is a show I should be watching.
You'd really dig her comic that sort of blew her up too. It's called Lumberjanes.
Yeah.
It's like a girl camp and they go on adventures and stuff. It's really good.
Yeah, we do these a little bit about how the sausage is made. When we do these AMAs, we do like a tech run through the day before, and I always play the person that's being interviewed. So I was playing Noelle, and so Danielle was asking her questions, and my question back was, should I be watching Shira? Because I feel like I should be watching Shira from this. So definitely tune into that. If you already are on board with Shira, I know Sarah will be there. And all of this is once again in support of Direct Relief, helping those people working so hard right on the front lines of COVID. Sarah is supporting those people that are helping us through this crisis. So thank you, Sarah.
Not social distancing though.
Not well. She's being a little bit of a maverick about that. But you guys live together, so oh my God, she's so cute. But if one of you already had it, we'd already know about the other one. I think, is that how it works, scientists, Spencer?
I don't know. How often does Sarah leave the house?
That we know of, only 4 or 5 times a day.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're fine.
She has errands to run.
You're totally fine. She's got to go pick up the Costco. Mandalore bits from Joe. Tell us what's happening with the Mandalorian.
We got more Mandalorian news, and I am now of mixed emotion as to whether or not I want to know about all of these or just find out when the episode airs. But in animated character coming to live action tradition continuing, Katie Sackhoff, who voiced Bo-Katan in the Clone Wars and in Rebels, is going to play her live action in an episode of Mandalorian season 2. She was I think when we left her, she was the leader of Mandalore, which is also called the Mandalore, in a system of space called Mandalore. But I think they're just sort of like continuing to carry all of these like big threads that Filoni set up in Rebels and Clone Wars, and I'm excited to see it. And I still think she's the armorer from season.
This is the first actress that voiced an animated character and then now is playing that same character. Is that right? Did you already say that? Did you literally just say that?
Ish.
Yeah. Anyway, that's exciting. Do you feel like those people that are not caught up on Rebels and Clone Wars are going to struggle to keep up?
I mean, I'm sure that they're going to take the elements that are relevant to The Mandalorian, right? Like, so if The Mandalorian is the only Star Wars thing you've ever watched, I think you still know that this used to be a vibrant culture that's now hiding in the shadows and scattered across the galaxy. There's only a few of them left. And clearly Moff Gideon waving of that very important looking sword probably ties in somehow, doesn't it? So I think even if Mandalorian's like the only Star Wars thing you've ever watched, they'll be able to intro her in such a way that's important. You know, hey, this was the last leader of the Mandalorians before the Galactic Civil War broke out. You know, whatever.
Do you think there are any people that truly that is the only Star Wars thing they've ever watched, Sarah?
What are you doing? I'm not talking about anyone's that's dead. Sorry, what was your question?
Do you think anyone legitimately has only seen the man? I guess if you're really young,
there might be there might be a few. I don't put anything past the world.
Yeah, if you sign up for Disney Plus to watch, Little Mermaid, like you might be curious about The Mandalorian, and that's your intro to Star Wars. They both
start with them.
Yeah, they do, and that's the. I mean, I know that's how I watch my programming. It's in alphabetical order. That would be such a
maybe.
Yeah,
I'm still in the numbers. I started watching every movie.
12.
Every movie. Are you at 12 Monkeys?
I've made it to 12 Monkeys. Yeah, looking forward to A.
Yeah. You have so many good things ahead of you with it starting with A. A lot of movies begin with A.
Yeah.
Amelie is a good one that you can look forward to.
Z.
I feel like just the movies that start with a simple favor.
Any Given Sunday. See, I feel like okay, let's talk about this real quick. When you're organizing your stuff, do the U's go with the A?
Unfortunately, goes with A. I think it's only the that gets ignored, I think.
Wait a minute, Joe.
Wait, sorry.
Do you really organize things this way?
I'm getting my A's and my thes mixed up. So clearly, yes, I do organize things, but badly based on how much of a moron I often am.
Are you guys worried about Joe that he's alphabetizing his stuff? Do you guys do you actually do that, or how do you organize your stuff?
I mean, when I had enough physical media to organize, guys.
Yeah, there's like a you'll have a manic episode, once a year where you alphabetize, like your records, or like this is back when you had things, and then it'll slowly drift out of alphabetical order as you use it. But what other way is there to organize things? People that organize by color are psychopaths.
Yeah, those are monsters. I will never do that. I'll never be one of these people that organizes their books by color.
Yeah,
you can organize your closet by color.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, to point of fact, I don't organize anything ever. So there you go. Yeah. I have my system is chaos.
As long as we're off the topic, and we might want to save this for tomorrow. But can we talk about Robert Pattinson's GQ article, an interview where he invents a new type of fast food pasta you can hold in your hand?
I didn't read this.
It came out this morning. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll save it for tomorrow. But that's what he's doing during quarantine, is trying to create new versions of pasta that you can take with you.
Wait, that you can just fist pasta?
Yeah, he puts penne and water in the microwave for 8 minutes, dumps some sugar on top of it to congeal everything together. You need a lot of sugar and cheese. He begins layering slice after slice of cheese onto the sugar foil. It needs a sugar crust.
Ew.
Guys, that's what I'm really saying.
Get this man out of the house.
Potentially, Bo-Katan could be the sugar crust of the Mandalorian season 2.
We should talk about Mandalorian. Sorry.
Whether or not
right.
It's too much or whatever, but I feel like Bo-Katan is a really good fit. As they sort of try to expand and build upon the Mandiverse.
But just sugar should never go in pasta is what I'm trying to say. I mean, it can go in sauce because there is a little bit of sugar in a nice red sauce, as you guys know. But just a little bit.
I haven't told you about the crust he makes though.
God.
And if you guessed cornflakes, you win $1.
That sounds absolutely horrifying. Joe, I'm so sorry, but he brought up really weird food and Robert Pattinson, and that was that. And
it's okay. Right now,
have my attention.
Right now, Chrissy Teigen is gathering her celebrity cooking allies, and I think Robert Pattinson just needs to skip right to the inner circle.
Yeah. Okay, I'm really upset about the Pattinson news, and I think we'll have to dive a little bit deeper on that tomorrow because that sounds 100% disgusting. And
is this what they mean when they're talking about how Batman's going to be raw and unsanitary?
Alfred,
just straight
bring
nasty.
the fettuccine.
Not the good kind of nasty. Hey,
so the crime has overtaken the city. Not now, Alfred. I gotta nail this.
He calls him Alfredo.
Alfredo.
That bastardization of penne is a crime. Hey,
Pennywise.
Alfredo Pennywise. Oh, that's good.
Oh my God. All right. For the 5 of you that are left, I promise that we will talk a little bit more about The Mandalorian tomorrow. Joe Starr, the final thought that I have on that, in agreement with you, is that it's our job to report on these things, but it is kind of a bummer because there's not going to be a lot of surprises left in the show going into next year. But I also feel like it's one of those things that will start to encourage people to watch Rebels and Clone Wars, and they're great, so that's cool. I'm not caught up, I will confess, but I do think they are really, really well made, and probably a lot of people. I am feeling more and more encouraged to go back and finish it. So that I sort of wonder if that's kind of part of the point. Yeah, like if you really want to have the completionist view of this world, have to do that.
Now, if they really want to start, I think the next announcement needs to be Stinky the Hut from the Clone Wars.
Reboot Stinky.
Reboot Stinky.
He's like a baby Yoda, but terrible.
Yeah.
Joe's doing some kind of catnip manicure, or
we're fighting. I don't know what's happening.
You just
what do you eat for breakfast?
Yeah, like what?
Honey?
Is it just I don't know. Do you eat cat food? Is that what's happening?
Hand scoop cat food in your mouth every day.
Should I send you some soup? You want some soup?
Should I send you some of Robert Pattinson's patented hand pasta?
Do you need some human food, Joe? All right,
They're called bat balls, Joe.
We care about you, and we care about you. We thank you for being with us, even if we go into weird cheese, sugar, penne diatribes. List your weirdest foods that you indulge in the comments below. Let us know if there are particular segments or topics you'd like us to do. We're happy to your wishes are command within a certain level of reason. And we can follow up with more Mandalorian news, which is sure to come out in the next couple of days, and go into a little bit of a deeper dive on that. Sarah will be with us. Joe will be with us. Spencer will be with us as well. And we love you, Sarah. We love you guys. We are here for you. And thank you for being there for us. So for me, it was chocolate and pickles.
No, and the show.
No.